Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another pop culture conspiracy theories for you guys. Y'all know I love pop culture and I love conspiracies. It's the perfect combo, TBH. Before we get into it, definitely go subscribe to my weight loss channel. I'm going to be posting lots more what I eat in a days on there. If you guys haven't checked out the first one that I posted, I'm super excited because I'm back in California now, so I'm like ready to get into it. I've been losing weight literally eating pasta every day, so if you want to go see how I do that, then definitely go check out that channel. Without further ado, let's get into the pop culture. First pop culture conspiracy theory that I want to talk about, I guess isn't actually like literally not pop culture, but is the Queen of England, Miss Lizzie. I've seen so much, especially on TikTok, that people believe that the Queen of England is actually dead. She had a bit of like a health scare in October and she was like in the hospital for a bit and had to miss a lot of events, and this was like very rare for the Queen. I mean, she is literally like 96 years old. People started to get worried after this health scare when she was seen walking with a cane. She also canceled a trip to Northern Ireland for like an event that basically her healthcare team said that she needed to take it easy. So that concerned a lot of people. The big one though is that she was supposed to not give her Christmas address, which is a huge deal. Every year she does a Christmas address, and it would have been a pretty big deal if she hadn't done it. Like, I think people would for sure believe this theory. She was supposed to have Charles do it instead, but ended up being able to do so. But some people believe that it could have been pre-recorded. I don't know, but definitely like that, if she did not do the Christmas address, I would be more sus about this. But the reason that people think that if she did pass away, or if she were to pass away anytime soon within the next like few weeks, people think that they would cover this up is because on February 6th of 2022, the Queen will pass a huge milestone, which is that she will have reigned for 70 years. I do think it's interesting. I could totally, like, I get why people are sus about like the royal family because they do some pretty sus things in general, but I don't know, I don't think the Queen's dead. I think she's probably fine. I think she's just like literally in her 90s. I also have like a theory about T Swift because everybody and their mother thought that she was going to release Speak Now, Taylor's version, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, because all of a sudden all of her Spotify music, like the background changed to this confetti type of vibe for no reason. I do feel like the only thing that you would have confetti for is, for me it screams New Year's, but obviously a birthday, but her birthday has already passed, so it's definitely not that. So I'm just confused because then New Year's came around and there was no word from Taylor. So what I think happened is, I think that like sometimes she has things planned out for, like, say this was planned for New Year's, like for Speak Now, Taylor's version, but then once we figured that out, she was like, no, let's switch it up. Like, I don't know, last minute. I think that that's like a thing that she must do. I feel like it's kind of similar to Pretty Little Liars. Totally off base, but I'm rewatching, in the sense of the writer would rewrite the script of PLL like a lot, like who was supposed to be A, because people would figure it out. And once like the mass majority of people like figured it out and were like, yes, this is what's gonna happen, this is who A is, like whatever, they would rewrite it so that wasn't the case, even though that was supposed to be what was gonna happen, which is like kind of annoying, but also like makes sense so that they want like to keep the listener or the viewer on their toes, which I love, honestly, because there are so many plot holes in Pretty Little Liars. Like, as I'm rewatching, I'm like, so many things don't add up, and I kind of want to make a video on it. There's so many funny plot holes throughout the entire series that like were so obvious that like no one noticed while you were watching at the time. So let me know if you would want that. I don't know, I feel like it's not something anyone would want, but I feel like there's a lot of TV shows like that, so yeah, let me know. Anyway, so that's how I feel like Taylor Swift kind of is as well. I feel like she possibly has this idea that like if the mass majority of her fans kind of crack the code, she wants to like switch it up on them just to like keep it interesting. Because I feel like what other reason was the confetti there for? Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. Do you guys think Taylor Swift is releasing Speak Now anytime soon? Because I need it. I think that might be my favorite Taylor Swift album. I don't know. Red is like a really big tie-up, so let me know. The next conspiracy theory I want to talk about, I've been seeing absolutely everywhere because Euphoria is popping off, obviously, literally iconic, but everyone's been talking about Alexa Demie's age, and I feel like that's like not even a conspiracy theory. Like, that's not even who I'm like talking about in this situation, but basically like people talked about how like her age like used to be like online like 24, and would be like that she'd be like 24, 25 now, or maybe 26, but her real age is like that she's like 31. And it was like really confusing because there's pictures of her like with the Kardashians that like from a super long time ago, that if she were actually 24 or 25, like she would have to be like 12 in these pictures, which doesn't really make sense. Now it says everywhere that she's 30, so I don't know. People have been like severely conspirizing about that, but I feel like it was probably just like a misunderstanding of some sort. Nonetheless, I do think someone interesting about their age is Margot Robbie. So Margot Robbie is currently 31 years old, and I would believe that she's 31 years old. Like, I feel like she looks young, she looks great, like literally iconic, she's beautiful. I refuse to believe it is that in Wolf of Wall Street she was only 23 years old. I am currently 23, about to be 24. There is no absolute way in hell that girl's 23. Like, there's just no way. She looks way older, at least 28, I would say, in that. So I'm like really confused because now I feel like her age matches up with like how she looks. Like, she definitely looks like younger. People obviously age differently, and I understand. And I'm not even saying Margot Robbie looks old, like, because now I feel like, yes, like her age like makes sense. But in that specific movie, I'm like, how the hell is she 23? Like, does anyone, like, I feel like no one's talking about it, because I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's just like weird. Who the fuck, like, what? I'm being a hater of people's age. Like, 30 is young, she looks great now, she looks iconic, she's perfect, so is Alexa Demie. So it's like the same energy. That's like not what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say is like, I don't understand how she was 23 in that movie. Like, the math is just not adding up, because that does not, like, tell me that girl looks 23. I guess it kind of makes sense. Once you get to a certain age in Hollywood, like, you're kind of like cast differently, so maybe that's why. Please tell me someone else has noticed, because I feel like I've never heard people talk about it, but probably I'm sure someone has, because I'm just like, what the fuck? All right, so the last few conspiracy theories kind of have to do with the Kardashians as a whole, but also social media. So let's get into it. Kris Jenner like did like a zoom in call on New Year's Eve special with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, which was fucking hilarious, by the way. Like, Andy Cohen was so drunk out of his fucking mind, and he was just saying whatever the hell he wanted, and it was truly hilarious. Like, it just brought me joy. Andy and Anderson were Skyping like a bunch of celebrities and having them on the Rockin' New Year's Eve special, and Kris Jenner was one of them. Kris was just like in a room, I'm assuming in her house, and she was talking to Andy and Anderson, and all of a sudden, because Andy's drunk as fuck, he asks her, what's the truth about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson? Like, are they dating? The second that he asks this question, Stormi, like Kylie Jenner's kid, walks into the room and like interrupts the like conversation and distracts Kris ultimately from answering the question. People on TikTok believe that this is a whole theory that they purposely sent Stormi into the room to, you know, they like had her on deck, like ready to go in the room and interrupt her grandma in case that she was asked an uncomfortable question. When I first saw this, I kind of like laughed about it. Like, I was like, LOL, like that's funny, but like obviously like not true. Then I really thought about it. I was like, okay, obviously Stormi is not watching herself in the other room. Like, there has to be like another adult there, whether it's Kylie or like a nanny, like whoever. Someone else is there. It's not just Kris. Like, it's just not. Like, and she's doing this interview in a room. Don't you think that the babysitter, whoever it is, their number one job would be to make sure that the kids don't go into the room where Kris is being interviewed and interrupt the interview? Like, that's probably the number one job. Like, I actually kind of believe this theory. I think they maybe had Stormi on deck. They were watching the special. They were like, hey, like, they might ask something that you don't want to answer. Like, let's have Stormi ready to go in the room when they ask a question like about P and Kim or whatever it may be. Send her in so that you can be distracted by something and not answer the question. I kind of believe it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I definitely could have just been a coincidence. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's kind of funny though, because she did completely avoid the question because Stormi walked in, and now we don't know. Kim and P are really dating. I will say though, I think they are now. I switched up my mind. I feel like at first I was like, it's publicity kind of vibe. I think they're actually dating. Kim goes to Staten Island a little too often. The next conspiracy theory that I want to talk about is Photoshop. Specifically with the Kardashians, I guess Kim like photoshopped this picture of her daughter, Chicago, and True, which is Khloe's daughter. People were like, oh my gosh, True is photoshopped in. It's pretty clear that she is photoshopped in, and people are like, why is that happening? Like, what are you doing? And that's not the first time Kim has photoshopped something like very badly. Like, she is like almost known for it. Like, I feel like she photoshops things that are like so obviously. It's weird, and I don't know why, except for I kind of have a theory. And Kylie Jenner did something too recently where people like were just talking about how their Photoshop was so like off. I have a theory as to why they do this on purpose, because obviously they have access to a lot of money, and there's a lot of people who do photoshopping as a professional career and would be able to make it completely unnoticeable that it was photoshopped. So why wouldn't they be using them? Like, why wouldn't they be having all of their pictures go through this professional photoshopper who's gonna make no mistakes whatsoever? The answer is the algorithm. I do think that it makes sense because people are going to comment on the Photoshop more, so it's gonna end up bringing more engagement and more likes and more profile views and all of that stuff, which is literally so true. It's the same algorithm on TikTok. There's people on TikTok who do things specifically in a way that like will get comments. They know that they'll get comments about this one thing over and over and over again, which ends up obviously boosting them in the algorithm and making their page more popular, making their video go viral, all this stuff. And I do think that this is like a legit thing. Like, I don't even know if I would say it's a conspiracy theory. I think that's why they do it, because why else would they not have someone who goes through and photoshops their pictures? If they wanted them photoshopped, like, I don't really care. That's their prerogative. If they want to Photoshop their pics, I don't care. But why would they do it so poorly when they could literally pay someone like that and have someone professionally Photoshop it where no one would notice? Like, don't you think that they wouldn't want people to notice? But that's the key, is that they do, because they want people to comment on it. They want all of the comments to be about it, and all of the comments to be tagging people's friends, being like, oh my gosh, could you see how photoshopped this picture is? And then they go and look at it, and then they like it or follow them or tag another friend. Like, it's just how the algorithm works. Like, for example, like, I feel like I saw this girl who like does her teeth like fake yellow for some reason, and like her teeth like literally don't actually look like that. All of the comments will just be about her teeth. So like, has the yellow teeth in the video so that people comment about something, which makes the video then go viral, is how I'm explaining it. I don't know. Does that make sense? The question is, do the Kardashians think like that? And is that the reason that some of their photos are just so poorly photoshopped and obviously photoshopped? And the answer is, yeah, I think so. Allegedly. But what do you guys think? Anyway, that is it for today's conspiracy theories. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all of these theories. I would love, love, love to hear your opinions about them, because I love pop culture. Also, if you have any pop culture theories as well, leave them in the comments below. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.